Welcome back. Investors are watching the midterm elections. Certainly, markets have been on edge, waiting to see what the result of this vote will mean for the stock market and the economy. Obviously, we got some good economic numbers last week. Joining us right now to talk more about the backdrop is OceanFirst Financial Chairman and CEO Chris Maher. Great to see you, Chris. Thanks very much for being here.
Good morning, Maria.
How would you characterize the backdrop? How do you see from the bank and
Sure.
what you've got in terms of your loan growth portfolio and everything else? How would you characterize things right now?
Well, there's a lot of noise right now, so the markets have gone up and down, a little volatile, but when you look at the core economic data, it's pretty good. Our customers are looking out at investment decisions that they've got facing them, and they're feeling pretty good about it with some reservations. Obviously, this week with elections, that's causing them to think about what the outcome's going to be, what the future is for things like the infrastructure spend bill. Tariffs are a big subject of thought. So they're optimistic, but they're being cautious, and the uncertainty is getting to them.
Are they engaged? I mean, here you've got the banking, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Are they
Right.
engaged in the political conversation?
Oh, absolutely.
And voting in the midterms?
Oh, absolutely. I think our customers I would guarantee they're going to be at the polls, when they open tomorrow. So they're very much engaged, they're very thoughtful, and most of our customers are family-owned businesses, some quite large. I mean, it's not unusual for them to do $100 million a year in revenue, but they're staking their own money in their investments. It's very personal for them.
What do you think would push them over to make those investments? You mentioned they're still a little bit cautious. Would be a big trade deal with China. What would really set them off in a positive way?
Steve, I think you hit it on the head. It's the trade deal is probably the single biggest unknown right now. We operate in a place where it's really New Jersey's a logistics economy. So a lot of our customers are dealing with transportation-related opportunities and not knowing the outlook for trade. If it's a short-term trade issue that gets worked out in the next couple of months, I think that everything's fine. If it becomes protracted and you start to really see these tariffs sink in and have an impact going well into 19, you could be looking at a setback.
You deal primarily commercially, but auto sales seem to have slowed down. Is that just a temporary thing? What's behind that?
Yeah, auto sales are slow, and also residential home sales have been slow. So, we're watching that closely to understand whether that is a temporary phenomenon, whether it'll bounce back, or whether that's going to be a little more protracted. Fortunately, those sectors are a smaller piece of the economy than they were 10 years ago, but we're watching them, and I tell the story I saw over the weekend where interest rates for folks that have been around, baby boomers, seem quite low right over this span of time. If you're a millennial and you've known only 3% rates on a mortgage, 4 or 5% sounds like a really big number.
They've shot up then.
That's
Chris,
right.
it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Chris Maher joining us.